Did you know that there is a secret third place where some nations decide who will win the game? They don't fight in the jungle. They settle their differences at the negotiating table. What happens then? Do they make up? Does the peace last? Find out now in this exciting episode of Jungle Economics. Hello, my dear little economic bamboos. Welcome to Economics with Panda, the only show where Cool Panda explains to you what's going on in the world without making you sleepy. Here, straight from my cozy den, we have graphs, flags, and even snacks. Because, let's face it, pandas in suits get hungry a lot. Today we're going to talk about trade wars. Yes, my friends, trade wars. While I'm only concerned with eating bamboo and making documentaries about my life, sometimes the world's biggest economies engage in something called a trade war. Sounds dramatic, right? Well, it kind of is. But first, a word from our sponsor. Have you ever wondered what's the best way to learn about economics? If you said studying in a high school, you'd be wrong. Studying in college, wrong again. Even if you tried all the courses on a streaming site, you'd still be wrong. Wait, so how can I learn about economics? Well, the answer is simpler than you think. Just follow the bouncing ball and click on the link below to start playing. You'll find lessons from basic to advanced economics presented in a clear, simple, and fun way. Plus, you can earn points and win prizes for every topic you complete. And guess what? A special message from Panda himself awaits those who finish all the levels. Need I say more? Go ahead. Click on the link and sign up today. Alright, let's get back to our trade war. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there were two groups of gorillas, the American silverbacks and the Chinese kung fu pandas. Both lived in their respective jungles, minding their own business. They traded bananas and textiles among themselves. It was peaceful until one day, the silverbacks accused the pandas of selling too many cheap products in the international market, taking away their hard-earned market share. They said it's unfair because they couldn't compete with such low prices. To defend themselves, the pandas built tall walls around their jungle to keep the American goods away. But the silverbacks retaliated by putting taxes on every single product the pandas wanted to sell. Each time the pandas sold something, they had to pay an extra fee. They tried talking to the silverbacks, but nothing changed. So the pandas did the same. Soon, the two jungles were surrounded by high walls and mountains of goods piled up on both sides. No one was happy. They could neither trade nor live in peace. This, my friends, is what we call a trade war. A trade war is basically when two or more countries impose high taxes on the products of other countries. But why do they do that? Well, usually to protect their own industries. For example, let's say a country is good at making cars, but another country wants to sell cheap cars to their customers. If they don't do anything, the local car industry will die because no one would buy their expensive cars. So they use tariffs as a shield to protect their companies. But there's a catch. While one country imposes tariffs to protect itself, the other might do the same thing. And that's how a trade war begins. At first, it may seem like a fight between two countries. But in reality, everyone loses because they can't trade freely anymore. Prices increase, economic growth decreases, and people have less money in their pockets. But not always. Some countries try to get benefits from trade wars. They don't have big economies or industries, but they have something else. Strategic resources. Take, for example, Vietnam. When the Americans and the Chinese started their trade war, Vietnam was prepared. Its economy was open and flexible. So as the conflict escalated, companies moved some of their factories to Vietnam. They didn't have to pay high tariffs anymore, and Vietnam became a winner by attracting more businesses. But here's the thing, not all trade wars are equal. Some are more like diplomatic fights than actual wars. Countries argue and negotiate and argue again. Sometimes they make deals, sometimes they break them. Who knows? All I know is that they fight a lot. But what can we do to stop them? Well, not much. To be honest, these conflicts are part of the global economy. We live in an interconnected world, and unfortunately, geopolitics and trade are pretty intertwined. But we can always hope that one day they'll put aside their differences, knock down those walls, and share their bananas and biscuits. After all, no one wants a trade war. Everyone wants peace. So, before you go, give me your pandastic thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with that friend who thinks a trade war is a 3-4-2 promotion at the supermarket. I'm Panda, and we'll see you in the next episode.